meet me at the corner of Russell and Albina, just about a block from Mississippi Avenue. I'll take you to a house where they hang carpets on the wall, and if we go there on a Sunday, there's a song I'll take you through.
Well, hello everybody, and welcome to our July 6th, 2025 edition of Open Mic America. I'm Rich Fassler, your MC for tonight's show, and I'm joined by Mike Simpson, tonight's interviewer, and Capo Dave Williams, tonight's show engineer and the founder of this show and the creator and builder of Dandy Hybrid Guitars, and you'll hear more about those later. Our mission at Open Mic America is to support your local open mics, where you can go to see songwriters performing their original music in person. Tonight, thanks to Zoom technology, we can travel all around the country and see those same performers in their own homes. Without gimmicks and frills, this is the DNA of American music, the tapestry of story and song that has been weaving us together for generations. So, get comfortable, and I'm going to introduce tonight's performers. By the way, you can find links to their work on our website and on this YouTube video. Tonight's show features Topher Gale from Santa Rosa, California, George Eckerd from Decatur, Georgia, Mike Simpson, Saratoga, California, John Lawrence and Deb Weslow, San Antonio, Texas, Marylyn Coffey, Huntsville, Alabama, myself, Rich Fassler, from Bainbridge Island, Washington, Daphna Ramil from Davis, California, Mark Stepakoff from Wayland, Massachusetts, and Jennifer McQuaid from Auburn, Maine. So, let's start tonight's show with our first performer, Topher Gale, who hails from Santa Rosa, California, and he performs quite a bit online on Music Matters Showcase. So, Topher, take it away.
Okay, I think I've got this thing figured out. Let's see. I like to fix things. I like to repair things. I like little house projects. And so this is a song that has to do with that. Oh, I like to be a handyman I am. I like to fix the homestead up whenever I can. I like to rake the garden, like to pull up all the weeds. I like to give the domicile everything it needs. But sometimes there are things to do I just can't seem to manage. It's good to know a few quick tips to minimize the damage. Don't drink and mow. Whatever you do, don't drink and mow. You can drink some mow, but then don't mow and drink. Whatever you think, don't mow and drink. When you're done, your wife might raise a stink. I like to solder sneaky circuits and connect crafty conduits. I like to wire walls without procuring proper permits. I stick screwdrivers into sockets without pulling fuses. I go up like a rocket and get bruises on my bruises. But sometimes when I think I've got a little over my head, I remember just a few quick tips in a book that I once read. Don't drink and wire. Whatever you do, don't drink and wire. You can drink till you're lit, but then just sit. Don't wire and drink. Whatever you think, don't wire and drink. You'll find your lights are on the blink. Well, one night when I was all alone and wife was with her mother, I had myself a jar or two, and then I had another. I made myself a sandwich of fresh Spam and Velveeta, and then I went a-looking For my 18-volt Makita, I set to work without a pause. I drilled and drilled and drilled. But when my wife came home again, she was somewhat less than thrilled. Don't drink and drill. Whatever you do, don't drink and drill. You can drink your fill, but then don't drill and drink. Whatever you think, don't drill, don't drink. You'll permanently perforate the kitchen sink. Well, if there's a moral to this tale, it's one of sober fixing. Don't let yourself confuse that booze and screws can bear much mixing. Hard work on those sunny days leaves one with quite a thirst. But thirst leads to repairs you can't reverse. Well, in your toolbox there are screws of every length and description. But in an addled state, you'd best remember my proscription. Don't drink and screw. Whatever you do, don't drink and screw. You can drink till you're blue, but don't screw and drink. Whatever you think, don't screw and drink. You'll have to buy your wife a brand new mink. Or else she just might send you to the shrink.
Yeah. Funny song.
That was good. Yeah, I like that.
And, it's somewhat autobiographical. And this is on the same theme, fixing stuff. So this is about, that one I wrote a long time ago when I enjoyed fixing stuff more than I do now. And so here you go. My roof leaks like crazy, my windows are hazy, my floors are all shaky, but I'm feeling flaky. I'll fix it tomorrow, and tomorrow might never come. Gonna wait a little longer, today I'm a lazy bum. My plumbing is knocking, my bathtub is rocking. You know I've been balking 'cause I don't feel like caulking. I'll fix it tomorrow, 'cause tomorrow is another day. Gonna wait a little longer, maybe it'll just go away. My lawn is full of weeds, some TLC is just what it needs. But since you've been gone, I don't wanna mow that lawn. My life's a disaster, decay getting faster. I think I'll get plastered, that's the one trade I've mastered. I'll fix it tomorrow, no need to rush a thing. Gonna wait a little longer, today I'm procrastinating. I'll fix it tomorrow, if I ever fix it at all. Gonna wait a little longer, only time will tell. Homeowner Blues.
Woo-hoo!
Homeowner Blues. All right, Tover, that was great. Let me pass you over to Mike Simpson. You can learn a little bit more about your music.
All right, Topher, the repairman.
I have fixed a few things.
So, where are you in terms of rate of songwriting right now? How are they coming?
Oh, I haven't been working on it at all, but I hope to again soon. I'd actually like to record what I've got because um, I have one album of stuff I wrote that came out about 15 years ago, I guess. And since then, I've written a bunch, including the second one of those two. And it would be nice to record them, but I'm pretty lazy when you get right down to it.
Well, I think you definitely owe it to posterior to posterity to
Yeah.
record them.
Well,
A lot of good stuff in there. What is what would you say is the personality trait that causes you to write so very well in the humorous vein?
I have a shallow personality.
Shallow, yes,
Shallow.
shallow, but observant.
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah,
And I like wordplay.
yeah, that's true. You do a lot of it. So, any other big music news coming for you? I think you're not playing out a lot right now, huh?
No, and I don't see it happening again in the future. But I've got one thing. I'll be. My wife has got a fiddle camp in Colorado coming up, which we're going to, and I used to teach at a music camp in Colorado, and have a lot of friends back there, and so I'm hoping to get together at a reunion with them and play a bunch of my new songs for them.
Yeah,
Until they start leaving, and then which could be 5 or 6 songs in.
yeah,
So.
yeah. Uh, I do know from having some similar experience as you, fiddle camps are great places for guitar players.
Yeah, that's
There often
right.
aren't that many.
Yeah, that's right.
You get to
Especially if we can do Texas style, which I do. So
Yeah, right. Yeah. All right. Anything else you want to put out there for our adoring audience of yours?
hi everybody. That'll do.
Okay. All right. Great stuff, Topher. Very
Thank you, Mo.
thematic.
It's a pleasure
Very
to
nice.
talk to you.
Yeah, always. I will let you go back and give Rich Fassler the controls.
All right. All right, Topher. Great hearing your music. Okay, so we're going to leave California and we are going to head east. Long way east. We're going to Decatur, Georgia. And we're going to listen to George Eckert. George performs at the Red Light Cafe. I like the name of that. Lena's Coffee House, and also plays Fiddler's Green. So, George, take it away.
Okay, I had to press some buttons there for a moment. So I've been kind of fighting an illness for the last month or so, and so my voice is a little weak, and I have a tendency towards coughing, and so we'll see how I do. So I'm going to do a couple of somewhat irreverent songs here tonight. The first one is called Burnin' Bush. George Washington said, I won't be king, I won't be king, I won't be king. George Washington said, I won't be king to the people of America. We're all waiting for the burning bush, the burning bush, the burning bush. We're all waiting for the burning bush. What did Mr. President say? Abe Lincoln said, the slaves are free, the slaves are free, the slaves are free. Abe Lincoln said, the slaves are free to the people of America. We're all waiting for the burning bush, the burning bush, the burning bush. We're all waiting for the burning bush. What did Mr. President say? Franklin Roosevelt said, we've nothing to fear, we've nothing to fear, we've nothing to fear. Franklin Roosevelt said, we've nothing to fear to the people of America. We're all waiting for the burning bush, the burning bush, the burning bush. We're all waiting for the burning bush. What What did Mr. President say? John Kennedy said, let's go to the moon, let's go to the moon, let's go to the moon. John Kennedy said, let's go to the moon, to the people of America. We're all waiting for the burning bush, the burning bush, the burning bush. We're all waiting for the burning bush. What did Mr. President say? Barack Obama said, yes we can, yes we can, yes we can. Barack Obama said, yes we can, to the people of America. We're all waiting for the burning bush, the burning bush, the burning bush. We're all waiting for the burning bush. What did Mr. President say? Donald Trump said, I want a birthday parade, birthday parade, birthday parade. Donald Trump, he said, I want a birthday parade to the people of America. We're all waiting for the burning bush, the burning bush, the burning bush. We're all waiting for the burning bush. What did Mr. President say? We're all waiting for the burning bush, the burning bush, the burning bush. We're all waiting for the burning bush. What did Mr. President say? What did Mr. President say?
Yeah. Great lyrics. Great lyrics.
So this next one is one that I wrote a number of years ago. If I'm known, excuse me, if I'm known around town for any song, it's this one. I wrote this after watching an auto show on TV that had all these, massive 12-cylinder, 1,000 horsepower vehicles in it that just seemed utterly excessive. And so it inspired me to write this. It's called Bury Me in My SUV. I want to drive to my favorite dealership. I want to sign me a brand new truck pink slip for a big fat Hummer to park in my front yard. I want to show everybody in the neighborhood that the money I'm making is pretty good. I want plenty of power to drive to the grocery store. When Jesus finally calls for me across the Sea of Galilee, you can bury me in my SUV. And I don't give a damn about the ozone layer, as long as it's got a DVD player. I don't give a damn about smog and acid rain. When my vision of reality finally catches up with me, you can bury me in my SUV. I want video screens and plenty of wood. I want 500 horses under my hood sucking gasoline while I drive down to check the mail. I want to blow up Travel Buddy with me so I can drive in the HOV when I'm going to work in the morning all by myself. When Jesus finally calls for me across the Sea of Galilee, you can bury me in my SUV. And I don't give a damn about the ozone layer, as long as it's got a DVD player. I don't give a damn about smog and acid rain. When my vision of reality finally catches up with me, you can bury me in my SUV. I want big tires, I want big wheels, I want big things cause I'm a big deal. I want the things everybody else wants. I want tinted windows to shade the view, so you can't see me looking down on you. I want a I ain't woke bumper sticker on the back. When Jesus finally calls for me to cross the Sea of Galilee, you can bury me in my SUV. And I don't give a damn about the ozone layer, as long as it's got a DVD player. I don't give a damn about smog and acid rain. When my vision of reality finally catches up with me, you can bury me in my SUV. When Jesus finally calls for me to cross the Sea of Galilee, you can bury me in my SUV.
Very nice.
Good one.
All right.
Yeah.
Really good
Very
one.
good. All right. George.
So my apologies to all the SUV drivers out there.
Well, you'll be hearing from them later. And let me pass you.
That song out. There were four guys sitting at the table right in front of the stage, and they were all sitting there like this. And I just knew that they were thinking, hey boy, you ain't talking about my Jimmy, are you?
All right. Well, you sing songs like that. You take your life in your own hands. All right. Listen. Let me pass you on to Mike for a little bit more about you.
Hey, George.
Hey, Mike.
I have heard you a few times. You write a lot of stuff that's essentially social, cultural, and political and stuff like that. When you veer off that track, where do you go?
Oh, I'm sorry. Well, recently I lost my wife last year, and so I write songs about her and how I miss her, but I just can't perform them because I get too emotional and it brings everybody down. So that's one thing. But then I also I've written songs about. Well, most of my songs have some kind of political overtone or ecology type thing. Um, I wrote a song, kind of an Irish ballad sort of song, some years ago, uh, talking about an older man who is concerned about a younger woman whose marriage has broken up, and and he hopes that she finds love, and then at the end he says, you know, that he if he wasn't so old it could be him, that kind of thing. I write songs like that.
Right. Yeah. Sounds cool. We'll get to hear that one sometimes. I hope. All right. Hey, the paintings behind you, are those yours?
No, a friend of mine is a kind of a neo-surrealist, and
Right. I saw that. Yeah.
we have kind of a collection of his things around the house. Very interesting guy.
So do you ever Do you ever get tempted to write in the surrealist mode? You know?
I wouldn't know. I wouldn't know what to do. I
Yeah.
read some of those magical realist authors, and I can read them. They're not like Faulkner or James Joyce, where I just get lost. But I'm not attracted to that style.
Oh, okay.
I tend to
Yeah.
I tend to be fairly blunt, and my writing, my lyric style tends to morph to fit around the music. Like one of the things that excuse me, one of the things that I've experimented with um, is I've tried to write some reggae songs, and
Hmm.
and uh, and I'm not very good at it because I really don't know how to play reggae, and I play reggae. I try using the banjo, which is not awful, but it's not it's not reggae, and I've tried using the mandolin. But when I write those songs, my palette of my verbal palette changes,
Right.
and I find that kind of interesting. And so I try to write in different musical styles for that reason alone, because it makes me vary my writing, and I like that.
Yeah. Well, that sounds like a good plan. I hope to hear some of the reggae stuff too. You know, it's a although I don't really think of banjo as being at the heart of reggae tradition. Um,
Okay, okay, you don't have to be hurtful.
no, that's true. I'm not being hurtful, but I think if I was going to write reggae tradition on the banjo, I definitely would think about push style. You know, frailing,
Yeah,
claw.
yeah, that's actually kind of what I do,
Yeah, yeah. I could see. I mean, you can get the reggae rhythm out of that to be sure.
yeah, but
All
it's
right. Well, back to
I
writing
get
your
that a lot
reggae.
about the reggae and banjo.
Yeah, back to writing your reggae music. I won't make you cough anymore here. And great to see you and great to hear you again, George. Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Rich, back to you.
All right. Okay. You heard it here first, folks. The birthplace of banjo reggae music. And stay tuned for more information. Hey, but now we are going to head back out to California and find a familiar face there. Mike Simpson, who was just talking, is really no stranger to Open Mic America. He is a performer, performed many times, and also is an active staff member doing interviewing and emceeing and stuff like that. And he is going to be playing a couple of tunes for us tonight. You can also catch him on Music Matters Showcase, an online open mic. And he also plays at the second Saturday at the Unitarian Church in San Jose. And he is going to play two tunes for us right now. So, Mike, take it away.
My microphone. Okay. Can I be heard now? Am I audible? Okay, good. So this one here is a songwriter's song for songwriters in many ways, because I know that if you're a songwriter and you have a significant other, wife, husband, whatever other words are being used for that person closest to you, this song is going to have, frankly, going to have a little bit of utility.
Mike,
Yes, Daphne.
I'm sorry. Your original sound doesn't seem to be on.
Let me turn it off again and on again. How
You
about now?
I think so.
Okay. I hope so. All right, here we go. Like I say, utility for songwriters. That's good? I see a frown, eyes cast down. You wonder, is this love song for you? I understand the confusion, it's just illusion, my dear. You want to know who the hot red head in the first verse is? I'm afraid I have nothing to tell. And the one to whom the narrator has given his heart, you say had best been you all along. I'm so glad you found it moving and delightful, and oh, so romantic as well. But the simple fact of the matter is this, honey, it's just a song. Just a song laid out in time, with some images and rhymes, so you really must not take it wrong. For despite the strong emotion and professions of devotion, honey, it's just a song. All the references to Paris and the Champs-Élysées, fingers intertwined in spring, are all cribbed from an old postcard and an opera by Bizet. They're not drawn from a love lifelong. And the eyes of love and the lips that are so softly kiss and speak are just film noir imagining. It's all quite made up out of fragments. Honey, it's just a song. A song just for enjoyment, a song I wrote for fun, one where people can sing along. Not a thing of secret longings for a mysterious someone. Honey, it's just a song. Not a word is precisely true. Not a word is exactly about you. It's just this thing I do. Despite professions of devotion and emotions oh so strong, honey, it's just a song. Yeah, a song just for enjoyment, a song I wrote for fun, one where people can all sing along. Won't you sing along? Not a thing of secret longings for a mysterious someone. Honey, it's just, honey, it's just, honey, it's just a song.
That was awesome.
Yeah.
Nice song.
Thank you, thank you. Yeah, it's much easier to play than it looks, so if you need it, just, let me know, and you can use it to save your relationship. All right. Here at Open Mic America, we have things we do and things that we don't do. One of the things we don't do is play covers that are written after 1925. And the ones that are written before 1925, Capo Dave Williams, our founder, the dandy guitars guy, has labeled those heritage songs. And so this is a song that's definitely a heritage song because it's 100 years older than I am. So, I'm really old. So. Let us pause in life's pleasures and count its many tears while we all sob sorrow with the poor. There's a song that will linger forever in our ears. Oh, hard time, come again no more. While we seek mirth and beauty and music light and gay, their frail forms fainting at the door. their voices are silent, their pleading looks will say, oh, hard time, come again no more. 'Tis a song, the sigh of the weary, hard times come again no more. Many days you have lingered around my cabin door. Oh, hard times come again no more. There's a pale, sorrowing maiden who toils her life away, with a worn heart whose better days are o'er. Though her voice would be merrier, sighing all the day, oh, hard times come again no more. 'Tis a sigh that is wafted across the troubled wave. 'Tis a wail that is heard upon the shore. 'Tis a dirge that is murmured around the lowly grave. Oh, hard times come again no more. 'Tis a song, the sigh of the weary, hard times come again no more. Many days you have lingered around my cabin door. Oh, hard times come again no more. Oh, hard times come again no more. Oh, hard times come again no more.
Ah, beautiful. Beautiful song, Mike. All right. So, you normally do the interviewing. I was going to let you interview yourself, but instead, I've asked Daphne Ramil to jump in and interview you. So,
Oh, you are my
get ready.
victim now. You are my victim.
Have we met? I don't recall.
This is fun that I get to ask you questions and you answer. Mike, that was just beautiful. It was fun and beautiful. That's just first what
Thank
I
you.
want to say. So let's work backwards. Starting from that's a Stephen Foster song, right?
Mhm.
Is that- Okay, starting from the Stephen Foster song. How gorgeous that is. And I mean, I'm a very fortunate person and I am not suffering from hard times, but there are collective hard times and other people really are right now, right here in this country. And it kind of gave me a little bit of a shiver to hear how you delivered it and how appropriate it was. So thank you for that. How do you pick your heritage songs, Mike?
Well, first I have to make sure that there are a lot of songs that are close that don't qualify quite by the dates and those kind of things. So I have to check that out first. Hard Times was selected because I thought it was appropriate to our moment. I myself am somewhere at the edge between fortunate and hard times, actually, personally. But I am absolutely invested in, from a number of perspectives, with the notion that none of us are islands and that anyone else's hard time is my hard time. And I see it surrounding us for a variety of reasons, one overall, that we have lost our way. We have lost, perhaps for all time, the American dream. I hope that doesn't turn out to be true, but I see no signs that there's anyone working hard enough to do the recovery that's going to be necessary. And certainly I haven't pitched in and done that much myself. So, if we're willing to accept the other people's hard times while we live in, relative wealth here around the area that I live in, there are plenty of homeless people. But what we mostly seem to be interested in doing is sweeping them up and hiding them away in a corner somewhere, rather than solving the internal problems that are causing the homelessness. Anyway, so that's how Hard Times got selected. The other way I selected it is by artist. I'm a big Della and Ella and all those fans of the female blues singers of the 20s. So I do a lot of their stuff. As distant as I am from them in certain cultural senses, I find that my heart resonates to the same musical beats that theirs do, and so I pick those. And I have people who request things.
Well, that was a wonderful choice, and I love it that it sends the message without really preaching. It
Right.
lets you sort of get into the shoes of the person who is singing and describing this. That's beautiful. Thank you. And your other song, which was a lot of fun and so funny, and I bet a lot of people here could relate to it. So just first, a personal question: does Pat believe you?
I think so.
Good.
Yeah, I mean, except for the ones that are about her, and then
Right.
but those don't have the problems noted in the songs.
No, I'm sure not. I was just being cheeky. That's all.
Yeah.
It was so well written and it's so jazzy. And it actually, to me, it sounded like a show tune. So a lot of your songs lately that you've written seem like show tunes to me.
Well,
So how?
there's standards
Yeah, right.
in that said whether that they qualify. The thing about a show tune is a show tune. I lack the one major requirement. I have no show
Oh, yeah,
that I'm
maybe you
writing for. I
should.
have 4 songs that I wrote as an exercise given to me by one of my songwriting teachers, Carol McComb, which was to write 4 connected songs that would be intended to be sung from the stage as show tunes. So I have those 4 songs, but I don't necessarily think they're my best stuff, so I don't play them that much.
Well, but your standards, your songs that sound like standards. I mean,
Yeah.
so have you had like who taught you those constructs, those chords, that style, or did you do it yourself? How did that work?
One of the big teachers for me was in high school. My mother's one of my mother's old boyfriends, John Hall, was teaching at another high school in our district, and he had a summer stock program where you did musicals. And so I went down and to those, and because it was supposed to have an educational component, you had your part in the play. You had to learn your lines for the play, do your thing, learn the dancing, do all that kind of stuff for the play. But then you also had to work with one of the professionals that was hired in with the play. And I worked all 4 years. Well, I did one after high school too. So all 5 years, I worked with the orchestrator and conductor on that end of thing, looking at the book, the orchestra book of the thing, and trying to come to understand the chording and why those keys were chosen, and what do you do when your ingenue can't hit those notes, and how do you move it, and and I did a lot of work with a pen, rewriting the score.
Chords?
Yeah, for those kinds of things, and so that gave me a lot of stuff into it. Then I have been involved for many years with a group called the California Coast Music Camp, and one of the things that they do a good deal of in those camps, which have classes for adults, and you can take like 3 classes each day, and so I worked with a lot of the jazz people there, and that really was sort of the beginning of any serious attempt to write a body of things that were in that ilk.
That's cool. And so that leads me to my next question because you talked about high school and then going to music camp as an adult. You have any advice to young people starting out in music?
Play,
That's a
sing,
good one. Yeah.
find others, like-minded others.
Hmm.
Tap. If you're in the public school system, the odds are that it may not be the officially named music teachers who are the musicians you want to play with. That guy who's teaching Latin may very well have a weekend a gig shredding in a band somewhere. So see if you can find out about those. Ask the teachers questions. If they have talent shows and you're a songwriter, do it. Suck it up, do it, and you will get feedback. Some of the feedback will make you feel very good. Some of the feedback will make you feel like drowning yourself in the Seine. But
And then
do
you can
it
write a
anyway.
song about it for La La Land. But
There you go. I don't know what La La Land is, but it's a movie, right?
right, there's a
Right.
good
Yeah, I
one.
haven't seen it. So,
Yes. Yeah, audition.
but the other thing I would say for me, the thing with the standards and the jazz stuff was I had an advantage that kids today mostly don't have, which was a cabinet in the living room completely filled with LPs. LPs are black, shiny discs that you put on this thing that turns, and then you put a needle on it called a record player. Anyway, they had all of they were very fond of Broadway shows. When we lived on the East Coast, they went to and took me to many things. I was there for opening nights of the revivals, usually because of my age. The revivals of Carousel, Camelot, all those things. So I saw them live, and then they would buy the LP, and I would bring it back and learn to sing all the songs, and find something like that. Find out what old, seemingly unimportant people are listening to. As you may find a cultural gem in there someplace that will turn out to be a long time love of yours.
Well, I love that. I hope some young folks are listening, or people who are just starting out in music who are not that young, because that
Yeah,
happens.
that's what I wanted to say. Is don't worry about the age. When you're starting, you're starting. Do the Zen thing. Have the beginner mind. Accept what comes to you and play. Just keep playing.
Lovely advice. And on that note, I'm going to hand you back to Rich Fassler. Thank you, Mike, again.
All right, and thank you, Daphne, for filling in. I believe we've got to learn more about Mike than if he would have interviewed himself. So, excellent job, excellent questions.
True that.
Yeah. Hey, let's see here. We are now going to go to San Antonio, Texas. That's right. We are going to listen to John Lawrence and Deb Weslow. They performed here many times in the past and are always great. Their little duo, Crossroad Creek, has been playing at 13 Trees Coffee House in New Braunfels. Hope I got that right. And Gruen's Last Call Open Mic. And they also participate in the Influence Music Hall Virtual Open Mic. But tonight, they're going to play for us. So, guys, take it away. We can hear you.
All right.
All right.
Well, we're going to play we're going to start with one that we wrote together. It's just a fun kind of song. You got anything you want to say about it?
No, it's called The Right One.
From the start, the one knows the best part is your heart. I strapped on my leg that stood by the door, lost in a past war, and my wife took the kids and she caught the train, left for Seattle, and she took what she thought was my very best part and threw away my heart. And you gotta have faith that you're worthy of finding the right one, and you gotta sweep out a lot of doubt to find the right one. And the right one takes you as you are and loves you from the start. The right one knows the best part is your heart. It was on aisle 4 of the grocery store. We reached for the same thing, and we met and we talked and we touched as we walked. It felt like the right thing, and right from the start we followed our hearts and knew we found the right one. And you gotta have faith that you're worthy of finding the right one, and you gotta sweep out a lot of doubt to find the right one. And the right one takes you as you are and loves you from the start. The right one knows the best part is your heart. And the right one knows the best part is your heart.
Very nice.
Oh, the
Very
right
nice.
part.
Inksaw. The next one we're going to do, well, it's a little different vibe than that last one.
But it is Sunday.
It is Sunday. Yes,
It is Sunday. And we know one or two of you
Didn't make it to church. So
maybe didn't make services
Yeah,
this
so-
morning.
we're going to do a little.
So we'll bring it to you. I got you.
It's called Born Again. Oh, yeah. Get my paper.
I'm born again, yes, I'm born again. Lord, you gave me such a prize. So I slapped my hand on the floor and I prayed for a little bit more. Got you, Lord, right with me by my side. Well, I dug a hole and I crawled right inside. Took me years to realize while my baby wasn't home, I was out there getting stoned. Never thought to look up to the sky. That's why I'm born again. Yes, I'm born again. Lord, you gave me such a prize. So I slapped my hand on the floor and I prayed for a little bit more. Got you, Lord, right with me by my side. This is where we have that rock and roll guy play that lead guitar. Then we got Deb shaking the shaker. said it's time to go. Well, I found myself alone. There was no one left at home except your picture hanging on the wall with the black velvet. That's why I'm born again. Yes, I'm born again. Lord, He gave me such a bride. So I slapped my hand on the floor and I prayed for a little bit more. I got you, Lord, right with me by my side. Yes, I got you, Lord, right with me by my side.
Amen. Woo!
Well done. Well done.
That great song. All right, you two. I'm going to pass you over to Mike, and we'll hear a little bit more about you.
Okay, a little bit more. Here we go. I have to say, I mean, I have seen you guys on here bunch of times, but it used to be independently, and now you're playing together, and you're both there in Texas. And the first thing I want to do is wish you and everyone else out there in Texas well. And it's bad. It's bad. But you guys are a bright spot for us. I hope you guys are both okay and your families are all right. So, Born Again. That's a little bit of a departure from what I would say I'd heard from you guys previously. What brought that on?
It's an old band song that we used to do, and it's just we just kind of need some party kind of songs, So we revived it and we're playing it, and it's
Goes over pretty well.
Yeah, it
Yeah,
gets
that's
people
good.
off their feet,
You don't have to teach people when to say well.
No, yeah. Well, our stuff, most of our stuff is pretty. It's not the danceable stuff,
Yeah, it's more
Right.
balladish.
Yeah.
Yeah, you do run that way. The first song, tell me about writing that.
I think it's been about a year ago we wrote that one. We just had, actually John had the idea for the song and we just worked it through, and actually we're in the middle of recording that right now. It's going to be the 5th or 6th song in our future EP that should be out in this fall, hopefully.
Yeah. The way we usually work together is one of us kind of has an idea. Usually it's her. She's got so many ideas. But one of us brings an idea, and then, and maybe kind of some of the lines and things, and then we just go from there and flesh it out. And once you get that idea, that storyline, and the rest is kind of crafting it.
Right. So your statement implies that you have chops. I mean, you're relying on the fact that you're not afraid or mystified by the process of generating the lyric and fitting the lyric and the song together. How long have you all been writing?
Just a little over a year now.
That's for all y'all. I was talking
us
about
together.
each.
Together.
Yeah, independently though. How long have you guys been writing?
Oh, for me, it's only been about 5 years.
Yeah,
I think I started about 2006.
about 2006. Yeah. Okay. Well, yeah, I remember. Deb. First time I saw you on Open Mic America, you had said that you'd written this song, but it wasn't your first song. It was your second song or something like that. And you hadn't been writing that long at that point.
Yeah, no,
really.
it hasn't been very long, really.
Yeah. Yeah. So what's up next? You got the recording going on. What else are you working on?
EP coming out. We're just basically getting around different parts of San Antonio and all around San Antonio, playing music at different places and really having a good time with that. We've been at a farmer's market. The 13 Trees Coffee House has a farmer's market a couple times a month, and we've been able to play that. And that's a lot of fun because we get to play originals.
That was an interesting story because Deb and I went to this place, and we were supposed to be an open mic, and the open mic guy didn't show up. So we went to the owner and said, we got all the stuff in the car, we'll play. And she said, well, it's got to be all originals because I don't have the licenses for all of that. So, can you do 3 hours of originals? No problem.
Yeah.
So
between the three,
a lot of songwriters, they really, to do 30 minutes or even an hour of original work is pretty tough for them. But
depends on how long you've been writing.
We're like an old divorcee thing. We got hers, his, and ours. And between them, we can run about 4 hours.
Yeah, we got quite a few songs. So.
That's a file. Yeah. That's a minute. All right.
It doesn't sound like much until you start doing it.
Yeah, it sounds easier than it actually is. And then there's making the set list. What can go after what and what can't, and she does all that. Okay.
She's good.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, she's a soldier,
Mix
so
it
she
up
knows
a
how to
little bit.
organize stuff.
Yeah. Well, we're both old soldiers, and we
both Army or
Army,
Air Force.
Air Force. Yeah.
and we still talk to each other.
But you don't mind working with a wing wiper there? It's not a problem for you.
Well,
Well, you make do with what you have. All right.
Yeah.
Hey, I'm really. I must say, I saw that you were on here, and there was a little moment of this internal celebration. I really like particularly. Trios, quartets, all fine. They want to come, but they usually don't. But I love our duets that we have here, and you're one of the ones I especially like. It's really great to hear you guys playing together, along with just hearing you guys. But so
it's
thank you
so
so
hard
much.
to do on Zoom. It's almost impossible technically, unless we actually literally come together like we're doing tonight.
Well, you can look up one thing. Spell Zoom backwards, and you've got Moose, and that's their new project, which is for people to play with one another without lag and stuff like that.
So look into
We'll be looking forward to that one.
Yeah.
Yep.
All right. Well, thank you very much once again, and I hope
Thank
we'll
you.
see you again soon. I'm turning it back over to Dr. Fassler now.
Thank you.
All right. Well, thank you so much. I'm looking to introduce our next performer, but our next performer doesn't appear to be with us on Zoom. So, and that was Marylyn Coffey.
Well, you know what that tells me, Rich Fassler? That tells me it's time for me to introduce you.
Well, here's what I'm going to do. Why don't we take our break now, which is our little intermission, and then you can introduce me, and that's 4 and 4. And if she comes back, well, we'll
pick it
bring
up
her
there.
on in.
Okay.
All
Good
right,
enough.
let's do that. I know you're chomping at the bit to introduce me. I hope
Not so much,
I hope
no.
Not so much. All right. So here we are, halfway through tonight's excellent show with 4 more great performers in the wings, and you're wondering, how can this get any better? Well, how about this? How about a chance to win one of the coolest new acoustic guitars around? I'm talking about the Dandy Hybrid guitar that was designed and built by Capo Dave Williams. That's right, our own Capo Dave Williams, the founder of Open Mic America. So, getting a chance to win one of these is easy. Everyone who performs or helps produce an OMA show gets a ticket with your name on it, and it gets put into a fishbowl. And at the end of the year, it's one of our December shows, Dave will personally put his hand in that bowl and pick out the winning ticket. And I got to tell you, I've experience with this. So that's how easy it is. Either perform or join the staff here, be a host on one or more of OMA shows, and you could win your own very own handcrafted Dandy guitar. You may be asking, what is a Dandy Hybrid? Well, it's an acoustic guitar. It's pretty unique in its design, and it projects its distinctive sound considerably higher volume than most flat-top guitars. And I'm going to ask Capo Dave, to give us a few minutes on it, if you would. And come on in, Dave.
Thank you, Rich.
Yep.
Yeah, well, I see Marylyn is coming in. I'm going to admit her. Okay.
I got her in.
Yeah, you guys might have noticed that lately there are more and more guitars that show up that have like a hole cut in the top of them. Well, the reason there's a hole cut in the top is because flat top acoustic guitars, most of them don't produce a whole lot of volume. The hole in the top gives the person playing the guitar the opportunity to actually hear what they're playing, particularly in settings like song circle, playing in a large room, playing outdoors, that sort of thing. The Dandy guitars don't have a problem with that. The Dandy guitars have a lot more volume than normally built guitars. How does that work? Well, let me explain. If you were the head of development of, say, the Ludwig Drum Company, and you brought your design team in to ask them what they had in the way of ideas to improve on your drums. What if one of the fellas came in? Now we're gonna say that this is a drum right here. What if one of the fellas said, "Well, I think what we should do is glue a piece of wood to a portion of the drum and then put another piece of wood underneath the skin as a brace to it, and that's going to really give us more volume and enhanced tone." What do you think the future of that individual would be? I don't think that would be very well received by the guy in charge of design at Ludwig Guitar Company, and yet that is precisely how the current technology of acoustic guitars works. The fingerboard is attached to the top, and it's attached to the top because the joint between the heel and the body is an archaic design of a dovetail, which doesn't have enough strength on its own to transfer the force of the strings, and so they glue the fingerboard on, and to support the thrust of that fingerboard, there's a huge brace going across right here. Well, technology has changed, and bolt-on necks are a reality now, with epoxies and with brass inserts. Bolt-on necks have become a reality, and that's how this is number 38 Dandy guitar right here. And you will see that the fingerboard is not attached, so the entire body of the guitar gets to make sound. Now, the major manufacturers, Taylor, even Martin now, are starting to use bolt-on necks, but they're stuck. They're still attaching the fingerboard to the body. And I expect at some point they might figure this out, that that's no longer really necessary. With these guitars, the thrust of the body pulling, of the fingerboard pulling on the body, I have bracing that goes diagonally this way instead of having a beam underneath and the fingerboard attached. So that's a little design tidbit about the Dandy guitars. And the Dandy guitars are of two types. We've got the ones with the floating bridge, which Rich is going to play, and I'm now building ones with a standard bridge. It's an ebony bridge, which give more of the sound that you're familiar with of a flat top guitar with the overtones. So that's all I have. That's all I'm going to say about that. The drawing is December the 14th, and good luck to everyone in the drawing, and I'll hand it back over to Rich. Thank you.
All right. Thank you, Dave. And so, whether you're at an open mic, a circle jam, a campfire, an open box car, and a moving train, Dandy Hybrid delivers. And you can learn more about Dandy Hybrid guitars and hear them played on the website dandyguitars.com. And a link will be placed in the YouTube chat. And you can find a link to Dandy Hybrids at the bottom of openmicamerica.com homepage. So we have got Marylyn back on the show here. Let me scoot up here and I'll introduce her and she can play her songs. So Marylyn, she performs at the Dog Bar on Wednesday evenings, open mic. On Fridays, she's at the open mic in the Liquor Express back room. Okay, and new monthly open mic allowing solo acts and bands just started in the Huntsville, Alabama area. A place called The Camp, and that's on one Tuesday every month. And that's interesting because it allows full bands as well as solo acts. Finally, there's one called Amplified at the Electric Bell, where one gets to do one song with flashing lights. This is from Marylyn. Flashing lights and a huge sound system. And so she tells me that she has to mentally prepare for that one every once in a while. But coming up this Thursday, she's going to be playing outdoors without any flashing lights for 4 hours at the Green Street Farmers Market. And if you're in the area, get out there and see her. But for tonight, she's with us. So Marylyn, take it away.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Our electricity just totally went out, like for no reason. And then came back on. Is that audible?
Yes, it is.
Okay. This is an older song, and it's everybody's been so humorous tonight and fantastic and jazzy. And this is a older song that I wrote about a dream I had, and it's just kind of strange, and I think it might be influenced by classical, but I'm not sure. And I don't know what it means. On the white bridge, bridge to nowhere, turning around, no one is there, waving her arms, waving at who? Turning around. Change keys. Looking for you. On the white bridge. Bridge between days. Days between hours. Flowing away. Crossing the bridge. Leaving a place. Placing her footsteps. Leaving a no trace on the white bridge. Which way to go? Bridge to nowhere. She'll never know.
Wow. Nice.
Beautiful.
Very haunting.
Yeah, and you notice the capo fell off right in the middle there.
Yes. Good
Uh,
cover. Good cover.
It's at least it was on the first fret. And this is a new one, and I was feeling funny because so many people at open mics were singing about the old home and grandpa and how wonderful it was, and the pickup truck, and how they'd like to go back there. You know what I'm talking about? So I thought about a person who maybe didn't have that. It's got two titles. One is called Still Life, and I'll tell you the other title after. No country home to sing about or pine for. Suburban lawns and cul-de-sacs and big box stores are all that he remembers, maybe all he'll ever see. Nostalgia isn't what it used to be. No front porch swing, no cows, no crops, no grandma's hands, and no hard knocks, no Sunday go to meet wives, no gathering of family tribes, just loneliness and indecision. Take out food and television, and no love gone wrong to sing about or pine for. With women, he is on a fruitless fool's tour. Once he had a girlfriend, but the loving wasn't free. Nostalgia isn't what it ought to be. When he was young, he rode his bike round and around and around and around, and he felt just fine. What changed with time? All those chicks he sees at work, they probably think he's just a jerk. No, he's been there for 7 years. The things he says fall on deaf ears. Won't someone take him seriously and give this man some memories? 'Cause what the hell can he sing about or pine for? Nothing ever happens, and he is not sure if he still exists or if this trap was meant to be. Nostalgia wasn't ever there, you see. Will someone give this man some memories?
Very nice. All right. Let me pass you on over to Mike for a little interview.
If you wanna know the other title, it's Incel Before the Internet.
All right. It may be longer than I can remember. So let's start with the first one. How much of that was really just kind of purely lyric driven, and how much did the other parts of it, accompaniment and melody and stuff, drive the writing of that song?
That one came together all at once, like all by itself.
Okay.
when I, like 5 years ago, when I started to write down the dream, I'm in the habit of writing down my dreams if I remember them. And I thought that is so weird. Like, and the chords just sort of came, and I've never written anything like it since.
Hmm.
So it struck me it might be influenced by classical, but I don't really play that much classical.
Well, I can see what you're saying. The melody lines move through and are either restated or obviously supported and avoided by the stuff you're playing on the ukulele. So yeah, that's a classical phenomenon. That's true of almost all good Western music. So even true of rock and roll, it does that. But yeah, it's cool. So that little guy must plug in, huh?
Oh yeah, it's slightly hollow body, but it doesn't make a sound, a good sound, unless it is plugged in.
Yeah. Well,
I had it made.
It's awful pretty.
I had it made in Tennessee, and it's supposed to be a jazz baritone ukulele.
I see.
I guess that's what it is, and I love it when people mistake it for a guitar.
Yeah.
It gives me more cred.
There you go. All right, and then the second song. Talk a little bit about specifically about the inspiration for it. It sounds like you live Huntsville? Is that right?
Huntsville, yeah. It's a city. It's a pretty big city, but it's so close to country people and country ways and country towns, and many of the people here are from those places.
Right.
And
so it's basically a military, industrial, aerospace, high tech city that was just kind of flung down in the middle of farmland, right?
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. My father was in aerospace, so yeah. That's not exactly why I'm here, but
Right.
here I am.
Well, yeah. So that's interesting because people write about particularly recently, I hear a lot of songwriters writing about various kinds of cultural conflicts endemic to the United States, but you don't hear that one much. But it's real. It's particularly real in places in the South, and over the years in Atlanta, in Huntsville, of course, and other parts like that. What do you think the effect is of mixing those two cultures?
It's good. It's really good. There are a lot more opportunities here, and people, people have more money, and there's so many open mics. I can't tell you. There's so many I don't go to, and I guess I just get annoyed because of the country. There's quite a few guys who get up and they want to do country songs, and they have cowboy hats, and they sing about the stuff that they see on TV, I guess.
Uh-huh.
So I don't really know actually if they have a real home in the country and a family back there. I don't know. But that's what they try to sing about.
Well, Texans talk about people that are all hat and no cattle, and it sounds like you may be running into a few of those.
But I just kept thinking, what about the guy who lives in a white bread suburb and doesn't have anything going on, and he's like, there's something about him that he can't get a girlfriend, and
Huh.
we all know those guys.
Well, the song certainly paints that picture well, on it. Where are you in terms of recording projects and stuff?
Oh, I have an album that I made in 2022. I don't really play those songs much anymore. It's on all the platforms. I have a hard time promoting myself. So I never tell anybody about it. But that song White Bridge is on it.
Yeah, great tune too.
So the name of the album is Can't Feel a Thing. and you have to put that in, and then you have to put my name, and then you'll find it. YouTube is the best place to look for it. And then I'm making another one with like 18 songs, and I'm already like 6 or 7 songs past those. And so like I'm way far ahead of my recording person. He's not catching up with me.
Yeah, well, that happens. I'm familiar with that phenomenon myself. Yeah,
and I have 20 more songs for a musical that I think I played one of them on here one time.
Yeah, I think you did.
The solar power song.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I remember that.
Yeah.
All right. Well, Marylyn, good luck, A, with living in a community with whatever tensions there are, and B, nudging gently and kindly your recording person to get that stuff done so that we can hear your album when it comes out.
I don't know if I'm allowed to post in the chat, but like a link or something, but I don't know if I'm allowed to do that.
Do that after the performances are done, and that'll be fun. Yeah. All right.
Okay,
next up. Oh, this is special. Next up, I can't hand it off to Rich Fassler because I'm going to hand you Rich Fassler on toast. Fletcher Bay Winery, open mic up there in Bainbridge Island, all around the Puget Sound area, with the Harmony Wombats. And yes, you look at Rich and you think, oh, Wombat, I see where they got the name. It's a great little band. www.theharmonywombats.com, and there you are. And the Music Matters Showcase, where I think he and I are both going to be playing sometime coming up pretty soon.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. All right. So, Rich Fassler, delight us.
Well, maybe I'll just play two songs for you. And hey, if you look over my right, my left, no, my right. Anyway, behind me, there's a right by the Open Mic America sign. There is a wombat, watching the show. All right, I'm gonna play a couple of tunes here, and the first one is called "A Lonesome Man." Well, I am a lonesome man, had it all, but then I ran. I tried to tell her why, she just sat and cried, she couldn't understand. Another day, another town, another verse, yet another round. I've got my dream, and I won't back down, but I'm a lonesome man. Under a spell, thinking time is gonna put me where I should have been. Far from home on a path that seemed a likely destiny, but not for me, but the Lord of money and fame. Everyone, they're gonna know my name, but all that love, hell, it never came. Still, I'm a music man. Under a spell, thinking time was gonna put me where I should have been. Far from home on a path that seemed a likely destiny, but not for me. Yet still, I chase that dream. It's It's always farther than it seems. Sometimes I just sit, yeah, I just sit and scream. I'm a lonesome man. I've got my hopes, hope she understands that I'm a music man.
All right.
Wow.
Thank
wow,
you.
Rich.
Thank you very much. Bear with me while I mute my guitar channel. You're clapping because I muted my guitar channel. Was that Mike? And now, before your very eyes, I'm going to play a dandy guitar. Look at it. Looks nice, huh? Okay, so I was lucky enough last December to win a dandy guitar. And if I can win it, anybody can win it. And I got to drive down. There we go. I got to drive down to the factory. I got to drive down to Dave's place and saw a whole bunch of guitars in different stages. And actually got to pick out the one I wanted. And, you know, we talk about the loudness. This one really stood out to me because of the loud, bass end of it it just sounded really cool to me. And so there you go. So now I'm going to play a song called "Prince of Sunny Days" on a dandy hybrid guitar. Life's a bitch and then you die, so the saying goes. Every turn you take is wrong. No matter how you planned ahead, said the words you chose, you never felt like you belonged. Well, listen, if you feel like you just can't go on, and the world's a smoky haze, hold on tight, I will walk you through this fire. I'll be your prince of sunny days. When we were young, we all had dreams of what we could become. You saw yourself a star upon the stage. But not all dreams turned out that way, 'cause life's too burdensome. Dream remains, don't let it disengage. Well, if you feel like you just can't go on, and the world's a smoky haze, hold on tight, I will walk you through the fire. I'll be your prince of sunny days. And I will carry on. I'll be there to lift you in the sky. So here you are, so many miles from anywhere you're from. A lot of laughs and tears along the way. Things that seem to scare you most to overcome. Some demons still get in the way. But remember, baby, if you feel like you just can't go on, and the world's a smoky haze, hold on tight, I will walk you through the fire. I'll be your prince of sunny days. I'll be your prince of sunny days. I'll be your prince of sunny days.
All right. right.
And there you go. Thank you. Thank you so much. And thank you for the Dandy Hybrid.
Yes, indeed. Nice guitar. Both of them were nice guitars.
Thanks.
So,
the other one was Takamine.
Rich is, among other things, one of the earliest and far and away more dedicated of our staff members here on Open Mic America. But he's quite the musician. He's quite the singer-songwriter. And so I'm going to ask you some stuff because I liked your answers the first time that I've asked you before. Right?
That doesn't mean I'm going to answer it the same way.
No, I hope not. One hopes that you may have evolved in your consideration of these things over time. So let's talk about each song with the classic trilogy here: melody, accompaniment, lyric. What came first? What do you consider? And a little twist on that. What do you consider at the heart of the first song that you did?
Yeah. So the first song, "A Lonesome Man." So that song kind of jumped out at me thanks to a dadgad, kind of a dadgad, a capo. I think I mentioned it before. It plays in the key of E, but it's got the drone of dadgad. There it is, Doctor. That's exactly the capo. I knew you'd have one. They're great. They're really great. And just like playing dadgad, I mean, you can do some things on the neck there, and all the notes kind of fit, right? And so that song just kind of came to me. Now words for the tune did. Words for me are always tough, and this one I won't mention the performer, but he's been on this show, and I've seen him on some others, and he's been playing music all his life, and he was a professional kind of a performer for many years, a professional, locally professional, many years. And he was one of these guys who traveled around from town to town, playing music in bars and restaurants. And so I had just kind of, the words kind of came to me. This isn't his life. I don't believe it's his life, but it could have been his life. Where you're traveling. It's hard to have a long-term relationship. And you're going for the gold ring, and in reality most most performers don't really get the gold ring, right? And so the words kind of came to me from that. So and that little lead part, it's just a couple of different forms, the same form, but on different frets there that I played at the beginning of that song, and also in the kind of lead part of that song. That came to me first, but just because I was just noodling around on the guitar. So that's the first song, and that's pretty recent. I think that's, I don't know, maybe about 6 or 9 months old. The other one, Prince of Sunny Days, I wrote probably about 3 years or so ago during COVID, or maybe 4 years during COVID. And I can't remember how that one started, but they always start with the music. Very rarely does it start with a phrase or the words.
Now,
so I hope that's how I answered it last time.
Yeah, no, it's a good answer. But the two songs taken side by side make me want to know how much attention do you pay to the rigors of form, to always wanting at least to put in a bridge, always, looking at the chorus starting somewhere other than on the one. Things like those kind of form issues. Do you think about those things?
Yeah, I kind of let them. Take a life of themselves, because, and I say that because I grew up with the Beatles, right? And so, there are a couple of verses and then a chorus and then another verse, and it could actually be a repeat of the first verse. And that was kind of the structure. I mean, that kind of was the way it was in rock and roll in the 60s. So I think I go in that direction. Although I've actually written a couple of songs that have no chorus. There are 3 or 4 verses because putting it in a chorus just didn't fit. There was no chord I could go to that would sound logical or
have the right movement. Yeah.
Yeah, right. So it really, I mean, that's a great question. But I really kind of let the song take care of that. After you're singing a couple of verses, you got that down, then you wonder, what can I put in here to kind of break things up? And most of the time, I just kind of noodle around, right? I say, well, how about something this or that? I mean, we all have our wheels. We know what chords work in a certain key, and like I said, sometimes, there's no room for a chorus. I'm just singing the verses.
Yeah. Well, your idea of letting the song do it is working out for you because the songs are taking care of you. They're great tunes. You play them well, and it's really great to hear you. You did good, son.
Oh, thanks, man. I appreciate that.
All right.
Oops. All right. Why don't you
back to you?
Yeah, come on back to me, and now I'm getting my script. All right. Oh. Well, hey, thanks, Mike. And thanks, Rich. Hey, but listen, we are going to go to Davis, California now, and this is another treat. We've got another Open Mic America staff member, and she's one of the co-founders, playing for us. And I got to tell you, I've been playing at Open Mic America for a long time, and I can't remember when I'd seen Daphne play. But anyway, this is going to be great. Daphne Ramil. She plays violin. She's going to play guitar for us tonight. And once again, it was mentioned earlier, she is in a very cool band, According to Bazooka. Look it up online. Great sound. And they play in venues all around Yolo County and sometimes beyond. And she mentioned to me that she doesn't really sing in According to Bazooka. I'm not sure what the real story is, but she's going to sing for us tonight. And maybe if we really give her the love she deserves, she'll make a comeback and start, singing everywhere. So anyway, here she is, Daphne Ramil.
Thank you, Rich. That was so kind of you. Yeah, I sing in preschool. How's that? Rich, this song it touches on your song about the lonesome man, except I'm not lonesome. And I realized some years into songwriting and performing that I do it for a different reason than wanting to go all over and make it. And this is called Love Song to an Audience, but I dedicate it to all my musician friends. I'm sitting on the stage like many others. I'm here to give you all that I have got. Tonight you'll be my sisters and my brothers with the tickets that you bought. I'll tell you everything that's on my mind, though I don't even know your name, for all my secrets are of the humankind, and I suppose that yours are much the same. Yours are much the same. And by the time it's time to say goodnight, we'll have the music wrapped around us tight, and we'll be
I don't need the fame or fortune that I may appear to seek. I just want to sing one more tune that I wrote for you this week. 'Cause there's something in my heart in need of saying. There's something in this life needs getting through, and I've never been too good at praying, but God can listen when I sing to you. And by the time it's time for us to leave, there'll be no line between to give and to receive. I'll wear your heart right next to mine upon my sleeve, and we won't be alone. We won't be alone. And by the time it's time to say goodnight, we'll have the music wrapped around us tight, and we'll be shining in each other's light, and we won't be alone. We won't be alone. We won't be alone. We won't be alone.
Whoa, what a beautiful song. Beautiful song.
Lovely stuff. Lovely.
Well, lest anyone think that I'm all sunshine and rainbows, here's another one, and it's called My Crying's Over Now. Seems like your favorite thing to do is suck it up, hold it in, and suffer through. Well, sacrifice is overrated, and I wonder why I waited so long to say to you, I'm just plain tired of being blue. So no more tears tomorrow, no more tears tonight, no more tears from me, but you better hold on tight, 'cause I'll be leaving with the rising sun. My crying's over now, but yours has just begun. My crying's over now, but yours has just begun. I wish I knew the reason why you used to walk away and let me cry. I wish I didn't have to see how your tears come falling freely now that mine have all gone dry, with nothing left except goodbye. So no more tears tomorrow, no more tears tonight, no more tears from me, but you better hold on tight, 'cause I'll be leaving with the rising sun. My crying's over now, but yours has just begun. My crying's over now, but yours has just begun. Some think there's something to be said for putting blinders on, walking straight ahead. Well, they may think the blinders hide them from the sorrow that walks beside them, but soon the road is bound to bend, and they'll be sorry in the end. So no more tears tomorrow, no more tears tonight, no more tears begun.
Thank you.
Beautiful. All right. Definitely two great songs. All right. Let me pass you on over to Mike.
Thanks.
All right. Daphne Rumill.
Hi.
I've known Daphne musically from just about the inception of her singer-songwriter career, pretty much.
Yes.
I saw her at an open mic in San Jose, and she blew the doors off the place right from the beginning. Very, very popular with that group, still is. And she writes a lot of different kinds of stuff. She's one of the very few people I've ever known, other than some visual artists like Georgia O'Keeffe, who managed to write erotic material out of gardening. It's a gift.
Which I didn't sing today.
Yeah, no. It's the kind of the kind of thing that you get occasionally if you hang out and help out, and I recommend it. One of the things this whole thing is about is the open mics near you and going to them. You know, don't just play at them. If they need someone to take tickets or do that kind of thing, volunteer. You get involved in a community that lets you end up knowing people like Daphne who are very worth knowing, and it's a great thing. Now, when you start a song, I almost always can kind of count on my fingers the number of seconds before we'll hit a hook. I mean, you're very disciplined about having solid hooks in your songs, and your choruses often represent them. How much of that is purely conscious, and how much of that's just the flow?
I break all the rules all the time, I'm pretty sure. My song guides me usually, and it's also how I understand how people listen to things. I work with little children a lot, and I'm really aware of when an audience is, attentive and when their attention wanes. And I think I try to incorporate that into my writing just to be sure.
Yeah, and you do it well. Same question I asked Rich. How concerned are you about a form of the tune?
Well, a form is very important, but it's not the form that people tell you about. I mean, I'm very conscious of form in general, but it doesn't have to be the standard form that everybody uses. So I have songs like Rich that have just 3 verses in them and absolutely no chorus. And I have songs that have 2 verses, and a bridge and another verse. And it just depends on what I'm writing, but I like to, it has to have an aesthetic form to it. It doesn't just meander, right? Yeah.
And you
I
have
don't care about the rules.
You have I'll leave it to you whether to state what this heritage is, but you have a very deep cultural and religious heritage, and you sing a lot of songs that most people here wouldn't have heard them. About my little, what is it, your little, I used to have a little something, it was very small, that song, and other like childhood songs from their cultural things of yours. Yeah. Mm-hmm. How much does that creep into your other stuff?
I think for all of us, everything we've ever heard, especially when we were younger, creeps in. It's all imprinted in us. And that's what I really love about working with young children, because I like to make sure that what is imprinted in their brains in terms of music is very varied and it has quality. And I feel like I walk around with children's songs in my head, and Yiddish and Hebrew and themes from classical music and show tunes and whatever got in there kind of sticks. Mm-hmm. I think that's like that for all of us, right?
And you're a classically trained violinist.
Right.
How much does that affect things like chord choice and sequencing and stuff when you're working on, say, on the guitar?
That's interesting. I mean, my first experience with chords, I guess, was playing in the symphony, right? And listening to that. So I do like a lot of movement, but my guitar skills are not, as great as my ears might be, so it's kind of limited. But I do think that there's a lot of influence there, especially in my ballad songs. I always like the bass line to be swirling around and little things to be changing. And I think that's from classical music, possibly. I don't know.
And you have, if I recall correctly, you have a pretty good command of music theory. Yeah, okay, all right. But does any of that drive what you do? Do you ever think, oh, I'm going to put a 5 of 5 here, or I'm going to, you don't do that? Yeah, okay.
Never. I mean, I probably do without naming it.
Right.
Right?
Yeah.
I'm
Hear and
kind
feel,
of,
yeah.
I'm kind of challenged that way. I can read music and I can read a chord chart, but the chords, and I can listen to a song I've never heard before and pick up the guitar and I can play all the chords. But I could not tell you exactly why. So.
All right. Daphne Ramil, it's a pleasure to hear you play. I hope you will come back and play more often. It would be lovely. Thank you for all that you do for Open Mic America. She, like Dave, is behind the scenes where you can't see her doing things like giving us our scripts to do the hosting, and occasionally gives me gentle correction on my interviews and things like that. And so she's back there. If you're enjoying this show, see if you can take in an According to Bazooka show. They are one heck of a band. They'll be playing in Palo Alto at the Palo Alto Festival of the Arts, Fine Arts Festival. And that'll be on August 23rd this year. And they're in the afternoon sometime, but you can look up Palo Alto Festival of the Arts online and find out when According to Bazooka is going to be gumming up the works. I mean, going to be playing.
That's cute. We have to remember that. But thank you for the plug. But let me just, if with your permission, just one thing. The other thing that I would do behind the scenes is set up the YouTube videos and the Zooms and all those things. But we always need more people to help us with the show. So let me take this opportunity to say, not only that we need people, but I find it to be very satisfying to be part of facilitating other people's music and creating this community. And even as satisfying as performing. So I'm inviting anybody who likes this to join our team, just like Mike is on our team, and Rich and Dave, and there's many more. So
yeah, and let me say ditto, ditto, ditto.
Yes,
all right, back to Rich. Thank you again, Daphne.
Thank you.
Okay, yeah, thanks, Daphne and Mike. And come and join the Open Mic America team. It's a lot of fun and very rewarding. We are now going to go to Wayland, Massachusetts. So we're heading out east, or back east, and we're going to listen to Mark Stepakoff. And Mark actually is the host of a long-standing open mic at the Center for Arts in Natick, Massachusetts, also known as TCAN. So Mark, it's all yours.
Hey, thanks, Rich. Really happy to be part of the night tonight, and I've enjoyed all the performers who have played, and I'm happy to get to share a couple songs with you. This first song I'm going to play is on my most recent album. The album's called The Sound of That. It came out last fall. So this is a song about mortality. It's called Settle Like Dust. Well, the Bible says that's where we all come from, and it's well we'll return when our time has come. You could toil and sweat all your earthly days, but your life on earth is a passing phase. From the Georgia clay to the dry Sahara to the old dirt road in your rearview mirror, there are truths that you don't want to face, but you know you must. Well, this world is rough, gonna test your metal, yeah, but in the end, everything's gonna settle like dust. You try to make your mark on the world while you're here, but the world's been around for 1 billion years. All your hopes and dreams, all your joy and pain, well, they're not much bigger than the tiniest grain. It's like a swirling cloud on a Midwest prairie that blows away everything you can't carry. Hold on to what you can, though it's all gonna fade or rust. In your short time here, you might kick up a little, yeah, but in the end, everything's gonna settle like dust. In the ground, in the wind, in the atmosphere, you can't always see it, but it's always there. From the Georgia clay to the dry Sahara to the old dirt road in your rearview mirror, there are truths that you don't want to face, but you know you must. In your short time here, you might kick up a little, yeah, but in the end, everything's gonna settle like dust, like dust, like dust.
Yeah.
Bravo.
Thank you. I appreciate that. So this next song I'm going to play is also on my latest album. It's really a song about friendship. If you live long enough, you are bound to accumulate a variety of friends. Maybe some of them are people you grew up with, you've known for a long time. That's always nice. But then, you know, maybe you have other friends that you don't have sort of that same level of shared experience with, but maybe they just make you laugh or make you think. I think there's a lot of value in that as well. You know, there's an old saying that you can never have too many friends. And in these tumultuous times in which we live, I think that's really truer than ever. To me, anyway, those bonds of friendship, they're usually stronger than, more important than some of the more extraneous concerns of the world. So that's kind of the idea behind this song. This is called It Takes All Kinds. I've got friends with many different views. Some come from the red states, some the blues. Some watch MSNBC, some watch Fox News. I don't bother trying to change their minds. I learned long ago it takes all kinds. They say we're living through a great divide, and everybody's gotta choose a side. but not every little thing is cut and dried. And more than ever in these crazy times, when it comes to friends, it takes all kinds. I don't care if they're Republican or Democrat, 'cause isn't there a little more to life than that? And if that's the only way you ever choose your friends, then you're probably seeing things through a pretty narrow lens. So it's never made much difference to me if a friend has views with which I disagree, if we can share some laughs and revelry and help each other through our daily grinds. As far as I'm concerned, it takes all kinds. Last year when I got sick and nearly passed away, and a steady stream of friends stayed with me night and day. All in all, I'd say that meant a little more than in the last election who they may have voted for. And I really think that it would be a shame if all my friends' opinions were the same, served up from a cookie cutter frame. 'Cause who cares if every point of view aligns? In this crazy mixed up world, it takes all kinds. Yes, when it comes to friends, it takes all kinds.
Love it.
All right. Great,
Yeah.
Great song.
great words. All right, Mark, sounding great. Let me pass you on over to Mike.
So this is your first time here?
It is, Mike.
Welcome home.
Thanks. Well, I appreciate
Welcome
it.
home. Yeah. Let's talk a little bit about the extent of your songwriting. How long have you been writing?
I've been actually writing, Mike, for a long time. I started really writing songs when I was 17, so that's a long time.
So 20 years ago or so, yeah.
Yeah, five or 10 years ago, really.
Yeah. Your basic approach seems to me for those two songs to fall kind of firmly in that genre that people call Americana.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know, folk songs for now, you know, kind of stuff. How do you feel about folk songs in general? Do you consider yourself kind of coming out of the tradition? Or?
Yeah, I listen to all kinds of music, so so I'm influenced by so many different genres. But yeah, absolutely, kind of my bread and butter is like you said, Americana, folk. Not a lot of chords in the songs, very lyric oriented songs. That's that's certainly my main thing.
Yeah. You're not one of us 27 chords and the truth types,
No, I mean I like songs that use a lot of chords, and every once in a while I'll try to do that and use some major seventh chords and try to get a little more jazzy and stuff. But that's not my bread and butter.
Yeah, yeah. No, you're a good player. I enjoyed hearing you that. So what's you said that on your how manyth album?
So that's actually I actually have 7 albums. I've been, like I said, I've been doing it for quite a while. Yeah.
All right. Wow, you must be rich.
Oh yeah, that's right.
That's right. You can make literally dozens of dollars off of an album nowadays.
Of course, there are a lot of jokes about that. My favorite one is, what is the difference between folk musicians and municipal bonds?
Well, I think I know, but let you tell it.
Municipal bonds eventually mature and start earning money.
Yeah, that's right. Exactly. Yeah. So that being said, what drives you to make the albums?
Well, I've just been, kind of a music geek my whole life, really. I started buying records when I was 11 years old, and I would go down to the Woolworths and buy 45s, and I'm sure we all are, obviously if you're doing this, you just really love music. And then at a certain point, I started falling in with other people in the community that play, and I love to play, I love to write. And so it's just just always been a passion of mine, really, ever since I can remember.
Cool. So if I wanted to come to your open mic, it's physical, right? It's not virtual.
Yes, you'd have to travel a long way. They used to have years ago. Even before COVID and Zoom and everything, they had a live cast to it, but they don't have that anymore. But it's well known in the Boston area. It's called TCAN is the name of the venue. It's kind of a well-known suburban venue. I believe it's basically the longest running open mic in the Boston area. It's been running since the 90s, and I've been hosting there for more than 20 years. So anybody who happens to be in the Boston area, you may have heard
there is that one famous open mic in Boston that's been going on since the 40s.
What, you mean the Passine? Yeah.
Yeah, Passine. Yeah.
Yeah, right. And I
You played there?
Yeah, I really sort of cut my teeth there back in the day.
Yeah.
But they run only sporadically now. They don't run like on a regular basis. They run sort of like when they just want to put that up.
Yeah, that's what I'd heard. All right. Well, I am really glad to meet you. We hope we will see you again, and consider hosting or interviewing.
Okay, well, thanks, Mike. This was a lot of fun. I really enjoyed it. So.
All right. Very good. Thank you for coming. We will see you again, I'm sure. And back to Mr. Fassler.
All right. Well, it's hard to believe, but we are at our last performer. And she has been on this show many times before. She hails from kind of close to Wayland, Massachusetts, Auburn, Maine. And I'm speaking about Jennifer McQuaid, and she performs at the Rosendale, Massachusetts open mic, and also the Catbird Cafe in Weymouth, Mass. And you can also find her on Music Matters Showcase. So, here we go. Jennifer, take it away.
Well, thank you so much, Rich. Again, good to be here. And amazing talent, as usual. So hopefully I can contribute to that. But anyways, the first song I'm going to do, another relationship song, kind of, sort of, memory here, but it's called I Never Knew. I wish I knew how you felt so long ago. You knew the secret deep in my soul, a wall I hid behind, I thought no one could see. You tell me that you knew, you saw through me, yeah. I can't believe I never knew this before. You felt the same way, maybe more. Looking back in time, how I tried to hide. I hid my emotions I felt inside. The years that fade away and time takes its toll. What might have been back then had I let you know? Had I let you know? The years that we lost and I did not see, a hidden desire, my fantasy. Yeah, I can't believe I never knew this before. You felt the same way, maybe more. My heart is working for someone just like you, and I am wondering, are you searching too? I can't believe I never knew this before. We felt the same way, both wanting more. Whoa, wanting more.
Ah, I love that 12 string.
Awesome. Yeah.
I love the 12 string. Thank
Very
you
nice.
so much. Yeah, I loved Mark's song there, that he was singing. And this is kind of similar to that same vibe. This one's called Get Along. And I wrote this a few years ago. Anyways. You got your point of view, and I've got mine. Let's meet in the middle, we've got plenty of time. We are all just dancers, dancing to a different beat. Sometimes out of step with the people that we meet. We may not always agree in the way things should be, and that's okay for now. Maybe in time we'll see. If we both come around and listen to each other's words, maybe that's all it would take to make this a better world. Why can't we all just get along? Why can't we all just get along? Well, this great world is filled with all kinds of diversity. There's plenty of room in now for both you and me. Through our conversations, we may never come to terms. To make this life easier, maybe we'll have to learn. Why can't we all just get along? Why can't we all just get along? Imagine you and me deciding the fate of humanity. Both of us knowing we'd live with humility. Would we agree to disagree and live our lives in peace? Well, I won't bother you if you don't bother me. Why can't we all just get along? Why can't we all just get along? Why can't we all just get along? Why can't we all just get along?
Ah, great
Yeah.
song. Very nice.
Yeah.
Thank
All
you.
right.
Thank you so much.
Ah, Jennifer, two great songs. Let me pass you on over to Mike.
All right. Well, I have to say, the nature of your songs always makes you subject to slightly more intrusive questions from me, I think.
Oh,
Let's start here with something that applies to both of them. When you're writing, and I specifically mean when you're writing, not emphasizing performance, okay? What do you see as your purpose, as your duty as a songwriter?
That's interesting. Interesting question. I don't really perceive it as a duty. I guess I want to make something enjoyable, pleasing to the ear. Whether that's melodic, a chorus that's memorable or something like that. But yeah, I mean, I don't really look at it that way, I guess.
And what do you hunt for within the tools that you have in order to do that?
Well, and again, listening to quite a few people here, a lot of you have extensive backgrounds in music, which I would like to say that I've had, but I've had it through working with other people, not so much schooling or whatever, So I've learned a lot of things, like Daphne had said earlier. You might not know the chord that you're playing, but I have so much fun and joy out of creating a chord. And when I find that chord, I'm not really too sure what the chord is, which I'm not sure if it gives me an advantage. Because, then somebody else looking at it, will say, well, geez, how'd you come up with that chord? I'm like, I don't know. And so it's a search for certain chords or whatever, usually. But if that
Guided
makes any
more by
sense.
your ear and your heart than anything else, huh?
Yeah, I mean, pretty much. I mean, given the time that I grew up, again, I mean, influenced by the Beatles. Well, I mean, for the most part, they were simple songs, but they grabbed you. They grabbed you with their harmonies. They grabbed you with their chorus lines. They made you feel good. I guess, getting back to your earlier question, I just want people to feel good with my music, if that's a purpose.
Yeah. Well, no, I would have to say I think it's working.
Good.
Yeah. 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 No, it's interesting. Although not necessarily in the themes of what you sing about so much, but the guitar work. I mean, you remind me a lot of some of the stuff from the Byrds, for example.
Oh, wow.
Who were also musicians who talked a lot about finding joy in the music and that kind of thing. So I think that may be a common thing among 12-string players.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, it could be. I mean, like I said, my brother, he was a huge influence on me. He was 6 years older than me, and he actually introduced me to those types of bands. The Byrds, the Moody Blues, the Doors. Oh God, the Mahavishnu Orchestra. I mean, he had a really good ear for music, and so a lot of that I delved into, and but yeah, he was quite an inspiration to me in that regard.
What's your performance schedule like nowadays? You busy or?
I'm just again, we just got through doing what I'm doing down here. Now we gotta probably get the house ready to be sold, and so there's a lot of moving parts here.
Yeah.
I'm not sure when I can settle down again, but once I do, then I'll seriously think about getting on the road or doing something.
Yeah. Well, in the meantime, if you can't go on the road, you can always come here.
There
We
you
love to hear
go.
you. We love to hear you.
Thanks.
All right,
Mike.
Jennifer McQuaid, thank
Your
you so
song
much.
sounded awesome tonight too. I just wanted to let you know that. I
That's
enjoyed
right.
your songs.
Oh, my songs?
immensely
Well, thank you very
tonight.
much.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I'm going to send you back to Rich, and he's going to take us home.
All right. Thank you, Jennifer, and thank you, Mike. Well, it's hard to believe, but here it is, the end of another great show here on Open Mic America. I would like to right now thank our performers quickly, one by one, and feel free to wave when I say your name. Excuse me. We have Topher Gale, George Eckard, Mike Simpson, John Lawrence and Deb Weslow, Marylyn Coffey, me, Rich Fassler, Daphne Ramil, Mark Stepakoff, and Jennifer McQuaid. And listen, hey, remember to check our website, openmicamerica.com, for links to the music of all of our OMA performers, and you'll find archives, excuse me, of all of our shows. Also, I want to thank Mike Simpson, tonight's interviewing host, with special thanks to Daphne Ramil for jumping in to interview Mike Simpson, and Capo Dave Williams, tonight's engineer and our founder. I'd also like to thank the audience on YouTube who are watching us now, and those who are going to be watching us in the coming weeks. If you like the show, please spread the word. Don't keep it a secret. You can even download and print your own posters from our website and hang them around town somewhere where musicians will see them and hopefully try to get on the show. You can also get this a spiffy T-shirt just like the one I'm wearing through Open Mic America. You can design it. You can make the logo as big or as small as you want, and the T-shirt's really good quality. And most importantly, please, 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 please check out your local and virtual open mics. We've listed the ones where our performers play under the local open mics tab on our website. We are here, always here, the first and third Sundays of every month. So our next show is going to be Sunday, July 20th, same time, same station. Stay tuned for the next full lineup of performers. And right now, I am going to make sure all of our performers mute themselves and wave, and I'm going to say good night, America.
If you meet me at the corner of Russell and Albina, just about a block from Mississippi Avenue, I'll take you to a house where they hang carpets on the wall. And if we go there on a Sunday, there's a song I'll take you through.